Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, BOA. Thank you, all of you, for coming. I loved you before I was born. It doesn't make sense. I know. I saw your eyes before I had eyes to see. And I've lived longing for your every look ever since. That longing entered time as this body. And the longing grew as this body waxed. And the longing grows as this body wanes. That longing will outlive this body. I loved you before I was born. It makes no sense. I know. Long before eternity, I caught a glimpse of your neck and shoulders, your ankles and toes. And I've been lonely for you from that instant. That loneliness appeared on earth as this body. And my share of time has been nothing but your name outrunning my ever saying it clearly. Your face fleeing my ever kissing it firmly once on the mouth. Could it be in longing we are most ourselves? Wrapped, the lamp mortal, the light hidden and singing. I give you my blank heart. Please write on it whatever you want to. leans in the doorway to say something. Lintel bright above her face, threshold dark beneath her feet. Her hands behind her head, gathering her hair to tie and tuck at the nape. Her voice, her face. A world and a world. Dying and not dying. And between them, the curtains blowing. And the shadows they make on her body. A shadow of birds, a single flock, a myriad body of wings and cries, turning and diving in complex unison. Shadow of bells, or the shadow of the sound they make in the air. Mornings, evenings, everywhere I wait for her. As even now, her voice seems the lasting echo of my heart's calling me home. Here's some more love poems. I saw you at the top of the stairs. Now I live a secret life. I saw you holding open the door. Now I'm filling pages with things I can't tell anyone. Now I'm more alone than I've ever been. I traded every beyond, every someday for heaven in my lifetime. Now I'm dying of my life. Now I'm alive inside my death. Do you see this space between our bodies? Barely a hand, hardly a breath. It is the space mountains and rivers are made of. It is the beginning of oceans. The space between either and or. both and neither. The happiness of forgetting our names and the happiness of hearing them for the first time. I heard you singing yourself to sleep. It was a song from both of our childhoods. And now I don't know if singing is a form of helplessness, time's architecture revealed, or some inborn motive, all blood and breath obey, to enact a savage wheel. I found you at dawn, sitting by the open kitchen window. You were sorting seeds in a plate. And if you were praying out loud, I'll never tell. And if you were listening to the gods, and if their various cooing and dying in time are your earliest questions blown back to you through the ragged seasons, and if you've lived your life in answer to those questions, I'll never tell. Your destiny is safe with me. Your childhood is safe with me. What you decide to bury is safe with me. This sleeplessness is not my sleeplessness. It must be the stars' insomnia. And I, their earthbound descendant, this loneliness is no one's. No one was never born and will never die. This sadness belongs to someone else. Sad because he's always someone else. For so many years, I answered sister, every secret thing? Anybody? Somebody? Somebody says, with a stranger for a father, how could thinking be anything but restless? Somebody says, God, I turn my hand face down, and you are you, and I am me. I turn my hand face up, and you are the I, and I am your thee. What happens when you turn your hand? Someone, anyone, no one, me, and someone else. 5 in a bed, and none of us can sleep. 5 in one body, begotten, not made. And the gloom we bear together is none of ours. Maybe it's yours, God, for living so near to your creatures, for suffering so many incarnations unknown to yourself, for remaining strange to lovers and friends, and then outliving them and all of their names for you. For living sometimes for years without a name. And all of your springtimes disheveled. And all of your winters, one winter. The sparrow on my rooftop shouts, all roads be blessed. His voice is a ring for the finger of the beloved. And he wouldn't work harder at his song if all the world prized it. Nor temper what sounds like ardor if a public thought him wrong. He says, singing redeems the body's loneliness. praise is homage to an older praising. A drastic sung and ruling me. Earth's urging the grapes to a clearer fate. Suns pressing them to a more potent praise. Flying fixes the heart to the sky's wheel, he says. Salt cures the spirit. Light is a fractal sprint. Imagination is branched, flowering, and each fans the buds himself. He says every atom is burning. Hunger rends the kingdom, unending, marrying voices and wings. Singing builds a throne for hearing, sets up a swing between our one night and our one day. It's all song, all singing. The body's seat and number, the mind's pleats, time's hem. The voice is a sighted brink. Its mission is to sort the world. The tongue is a mortal flower. The dew at last. The guests arrive. The child learns his name. A virgin bell. And even that iron note is God awake in two worlds. God seeks a destiny in all things, fired in the kiln of the sun or the mind. That's the word from his song. This one without music, and then we'll close with something with music. This is a new poem that I'm still working on. I'm reading you one version of it. This seemed okay. I did that an hour ago. Let's try to read it with the corrections. This is called The Undressing. These corrections are really tiny. The undressing. Listen, she says. I'm listening, I say, and kiss her chin. Obviously you're not, she says. I kiss her nose and both of her eyes. I can do more than one thing at a time, I tell her. Trust me. I kiss her cheeks. You've heard of planting lotuses in a fire, she says. You've heard of sifting gold from sand. You know perfumed flesh in anklets and spirit unadorned, take turns at lead and follow, one in action and repose. I kiss her neck and behind her ear. But there are things you need reminded of, she says. So remind me, love, I say. There are stories we tell ourselves, she says. There are stories we tell others. Then there's the sum of our hours. Death will render legible. I unfasten the top button of her blouse and nibble her throat with more kisses. Go on, I say. I'm listening. You better be, she says. You'll be tested. I undo the second, the third, the fourth, and the last buttons quickly, and then lean in to kiss her collarbone. She says, the world is a story that keeps beginning. In it, you have lived severally disguised. Bright ash, dark ash, mirror, moon. A child waking in the night to hear the thunder. A traveler stopping to ask the way home. And there's still the butterfly's night sea journey to consider. She says, there are dreams we dream alone. There are dreams we dream with others. Then there's the lilac's secret life of fire, of God accomplished in the realm of change and desire. Pushing my hand away from her breast, she keeps talking. Alone, you dream in several colors. Blue, wishing, and following the river. In company, you dream in several others. The time you don't have, the time left over, and the time it takes. Your lamp has a triple wick, remembering, questioning, and sheltering, made of your hearts and minds agreement. With it, you navigate the two seas, day with everything inside it, night and all that's missing. Meanwhile, I encounter difficulty with her skirt knot, her fingers confounding my progress as she goes on reviewing the doubtful points. There are words we say in the dark. There are words we speak in the light. And sometimes they're the same words. I drop to one knee. There's the word we give to another. There's the word we keep with ourselves. And sometimes they're the same word. I slip one hand inside her blouse and find her naked waist. My other hand cradles her bare foot from which her sandal has fallen. A word has many lives, she says. Quarry, the word is gain, unpronounceable. Pursuant, the word is judge, pronouncing sentence. Affliction, the word is a thorn, chastising. I nudge her blouse open with my nose and kiss her breastbone. The initiating word embarks, fixed between sighted wings, and said, says, saying, none are the bird, each just moments of the flying. Doubling back, the word is infinite. We circle ourselves. The fruit rots in time, and we're just passengers of our voices, a bird in one ear crying, two, there are two worlds. A bird in the other urging, through, be through with this world and that world. Her blouse lapses around her shoulders, and I bend lower to kiss her navel. There are voices that wake us in the morning, she says. There are voices that keep us up all night. I tell her, the voices I follow to my heart's shut house, say, a member of the wounded light enjoined to praise, each attends a song that keeps leaving. Now I'm fondling her breasts and kissing her. I'm biting her nipples, not meaning to hurt her. I'm hurting her a little. And for these infractions I receive the gentlest tugs at my ear. She says, all night the lovers ask, do you love me? Over and over they answer, I love you. Back and forth, merging, parting, folding, spending, the lovers' voices are the ocean's legion, scaling earth's black bell. Their bright crested foam, the rudimentary beginnings of bridges and wings, the dream of flying and a yearning to cross over. Now I'm licking her underlines. I've undone the knot to her skirt. She says, designations of north, south, east, and west, winter, spring, summer, fall, first son, second son, first daughter, second daughter, change, but should correspond to a current picture of the sky. Each of our days fulfills the great table's rounds. The tables are not round, or not only round. At every corner, opposites emerge, and you meet yourself. I bow my head and raise her foot to my mouth. The tables make a tower and a ladder. They are the throne and the crown. The crown is not for your head. The throne is not your seat. The days on which the tables stand will be weighed and named. And the days are not days, not the way you might understand days. The tables summon the feast and are an aspect of the host. The smell of her foot makes me think of saddles. I lick her instep. I kiss her toes. I kiss her ankle. Gold bit, I think. Tender spur, I think. The rounds enclose the dance, she says. The round and the square together determine the dimensions of the art, she says. The water is rising as we speak. Call everyone to the feast. Don't you kiss my lips with that mouth, she says. I'm kissing her knees. I'm kissing the insides of her thighs. I'm thinking about her hip bones. I'm tonguing the crease where her thigh and her belly meet. The smell of her body mixing with her perfume makes me woozy. I tell myself, give up guessing. Give up these frightened gestures of a stooped heart. Are you paying attention? She says, this is important. 1 and 1 is 2. You and me are 3. A long arithmetic, no temporal hand reckons, rules galaxies and ants, exact and exacting. Lovers obey, sometimes contradicting human account. I'm drooling along her ribs. I'm smacking my lips and tongue to better taste her mossy, nutty, buttery, acrid sweat. Listen, she says, there's one more thing. Regarding the 2 fires, but I'm thinking, my hands know things my eyes can't see. My eyes see things my hands can't hold. I'm telling myself, left and right grow wise in the same house. Listen, she says, never let the fires go out. The paler, the hotter. But I'm thinking, pale alcove. I'm thinking, my heart ripens with news the rest of me waits to hear. Are you listening? But I'm not listening. I'm thinking, a nest of eggs for my crown, please, and for my cushion, my weight in grace. I'm thinking, in one light, love might look like siege. In another light, rescue might look like danger. The cargo is flowers, she says. The seeds of fire, ours to mother. The dust, she says, the shavings, and all spare materials must be burned in the fire. Even the nails burned in it. Even the tools burned. And then the oven dismantled and burned. Have you been hearing me? It's too late for presidents. It's too late for flags. It's too late for movements. movie stars and the profit economy. The war is on. If love doesn't prevail, who wants to live in this world? You know what I'm going to do, you guys? David and I, this is totally new to us, and a lot of it is improvisation. And I wasn't too happy with the way the first one went, so we'll try that one again. Because I know we've done this before, and it was better. Now, if it's worse, so we'll do this one again. We'll do the first poem again, and that'll be it. Thank you.
A little louder, please.
I'm sorry?
A little louder.
Should I read a little louder? You should play a little louder.
You read a little louder.
I'll read a little louder.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
I loved you before I was born. It doesn't make sense. I know. Wait, that didn't work. Let's try again. I loved you before I was born. It doesn't make sense. I know. I saw your eyes before I had eyes to see. And I've lived longing for your every look ever since. That longing entered time as this body. And the longing grew as this body waxed. And the longing grows as this body wanes. That longing will outlive this body. I loved you before I was born. It makes no sense. You know. Long before eternity, I caught a glimpse of your neck and shoulders, your ankles and toes. And I've been lonely for you from that That loneliness appeared on earth as this body. And my share of time has been nothing but your name, outrunning my ever saying it clearly. Your face fleeing, my ever kissing it firmly once on the mouth. Could it be in longing we are most ourselves, wrapped, the lamp mortal, the light hidden and singing? I give you my blank heart. Please write on it